Okay. So homework out from last time? Was it every other even we gave?
Yes.
Actually, I think you goes. So let's see what we got.
Oh, he's the blonde and emo kid. He's really dangerous, right? What homework is it?
I'm looking at C.
There's still mine.
We have C every other even, right? And if you couldn't figure out every other even, just do all the evens and you'd be okay. What kind of questions did you come across on letter C, every other even? Now you know that somebody is going to ask for like number 4 when we had to skip it. And they're like, well, I started at number 4. So they did all the every other even starting at 4. You did every other even starting at 2.
You do 10.
10? You got it. All right.
Hey, that's from January. Yeah, you don't think I know that?
Should I just throw these in the...
Yeah, right inside there. Thank you. Yeah.
Help me alleviate stress and reopen the log.
What did I do?
She hasn't done the log review yet.
Yeah, I'll reopen it.
Thank you.
Sure. Yeah. Grant's already going to email me to open it, so will you email me as well?
Sure.
Because.
No. He wants to do it right now.
All right, I'll do it right now. And I'm not doing it because you asked. Grant asked first, and I thought I should do it then, and it seems like a really good idea to do it.
Fair enough.
Courses, Algebra 2.
I guess you have to log in.
Yeah, log review.
Yeah.
Settings. What do you say by
By Wednesday for what?
how about we make it by Sunday?
Yes, sure.
That should do.
Yeah.
Alright, it's reopened for you.
I transferred. I got mine.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're
Cool. Alright, we want to solve this problem. It's open and it's clear. Alright, so just a few things that we need to keep in mind. So we have to keep that in mind because of what our original problem is, because that makes a 0 in the denominator. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply all 3 terms by x plus 4x minus 1. So you remember I have this term, I have this term, and I have this term. And I'm going to multiply all 3 of them by x plus 4 and x minus 1. So here the x plus 4's cancel, so I get 6, x minus 1. I'm competing with more voices than my head offers. And then this last one, the x minus 1's would cancel, so then I'm going to multiply by x plus 4. Does everybody feel comfortable with the math that's been done so far? Does anyone need to see that I write each binomial by it and I cancel it out so like we're in Algebra 1? Yeah. No, you don't. All right, so let's go ahead and solve it. So I'm going to distribute here. Distribute here. Oh, wait, FOIL here first. So that's going to give me, what, x squared plus 3x minus 4, and then distribute the negative 4 to that. So then that gives me 4x squared plus 12x minus 16. And then FOIL this last one, so I'm going to get 2x squared outside 8x, inside 2x plus 10x plus 8, I think. Is that okay so far? All right, let's combine our like terms. That's 10x, bless you. Subtract the 2x, it's going to give me 8x squared. And I have that and that and that. So negative 6 plus 12 is 6. Subtract the 10, so I get negative 16x. And then the last one, combine that and that. So minus 24 equals 0. I could go through and divide everything by 8. Okay, divide everything by 8 and then factor x minus 3 and x plus 1. Okay, if I set both those equal to 0, I will find that x is equal to 3 and x is equal to -1. Were any of those? Nope, they're good. So if I plug 3 in, I don't get a denominator of 0. If I plug -1 in, same thing. There's my answers. What else would you like to see of the every other even? Yeah. 8? It won't hurt you to see it. So number 8 was not necessarily assigned unless you started at 4, but that one, right? Okay. State the LCM and then solve. Okay. So things I'm going to do off the side, I know that x can't equal -1 and x can't equal 0 because of what our current denominators are. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to multiply all 3 of my terms by 2x and x plus 1. So if I multiply the first one, the x plus 1's cancel, so I wind up with 6x squared. On the second one, the 2x cancels, so I'm left with plus 6x plus 1. And on the third one, I'm going to multiply everything by 14x plus 1. Is that okay so far?
Wait.
Kate, are you just going to talk nonstop?
Yeah.
I tell you, bad kid. I know Peyton's a bad influence.
Caroline, just talking about you.
I'm not the worst influence. That's Olivia.
Wow. There was a bus that someone just got tossed under. Poor Olivia. I mean, what's going on today? Normally you guys are on your phones just nonstop checking the instant face.
Actually, I'm on my phone. I'm just rubbing my own face. Kate has trauma, and so I want to hear it. Oh.
Kate has drama. Okay. All right. So let's solve this. Distribute over the parentheses. And then let's move everything over. So I get 6x squared minus 8x minus 8. Divide everything by 2. And let's see if we can factor this. Let's see, I had 3x and x. And minus 2 and plus 2. Does that work? Yep, that's it. So x equals -2 over 3, and x equals 2. Did those goof up any of our things? Nope. Those are our answers. What else? 18? Heard it from both sides. Stereo. Ooh, look at 18. Just getting nasty. Okay, 2 plus 1 over x over 3 minus 5 over 2x. All right. As far as finding the least common multiple, don't worry about that. Just realize I'm going to multiply this by x over x. So that's going to give me on top, that's going to give me 2x plus 1 over x. And then let's multiply this one by 2x over 2x. And so that's going to give me on bottom, let's see, 6x minus 5 over 2x. Is that okay so far? 2x plus 1 won't factor, so I'm going to bring that down, 2x plus 1 in parentheses, and x, and then multiply by the reciprocal of the bottom. 6x minus 5 will not break down either, so let's put that in parentheses. So the only thing that's going to cancel out for us are the x's. So I'm left with 2 parentheses 2x plus 1 over 6x minus 5. And again, if I put it in parentheses, that tells me, hey, it will. That's the factor. Already factored. Anything else, my friends, would you like to see? All right. You what? You good? Yeah. Positive? No fibbing? Okay. If you would, make sure your names are on the top of those and anything else you might be handed forward.
Oh, I guess none of our homework's due till Wednesday.
What?
We don't have.
Oh, yeah, because tomorrow. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Yeah, tomorrow's a testing day, right?
Yeah.
Something like that? I'm a relief proctor. You know what that means? That means that somebody's going to conveniently call in sick, and guess who gets proctor?
You.
Yeah.
So you're like a
And I bet someone will.
I just tell the school, just have me as a proctor all the time. Don't build up my hopes and dreams by saying, hey, you're a relief proctor, so if everyone's here, you get to sit there and do work.
That's bull crap.
Well, an unfortunate thing is it's happened every year that there's been some sort of standardized test. Somebody is always conveniently sick.
Do you sit in the hall or do you not even have to tell them hall?
Oh, I'll sit in my office, crank music, and sniff glue.
So that's fun of the day, right?
Yeah. It's a little sticky situation, but you know, hey. Oh, now I'm getting the Sam jokes. You're allowed to throw it at me now.
Oh, wait.
Too many, yeah. Oh, thanks, Benny.
I was asking.
Oh, perfect. I'll get that in the book for you. All right. So starting later today as well, I'm going to just put that. There we go. So starting today, I am going to put our rational functions capstone review on Schoology. Okay? So the rational capstone, the rationals is the last one. You're not ready to do it yet, but you can go on in there and I'll make it so you can do it 10 times or 20 times or whatever and I will keep the highest score. But that will be worth a 10-point homework assignment. This will be due sometime like first week of May. Some week of May, is that all right? So again, each of these, I made these, they kind of go along with the test. If it says, hey, you don't have a graphing calculator on this one, well, you all know how to go back and forth on the test to go back to the graphing calculator, right?
Yeah.
According to the teachers at Smoky Hill, that's cheating. I said that's a valuable use of resources is what it's called.
Yeah.
So.
I feel like we should cheating. Why'd you put it on?
Yeah, I wish. All right, so pretty simple problem here. You have 1.5 cups of sugar to make 2 gallons of punch. How much sugar is needed to make 15? So if you want 1.5 cups over 2 gallons, you could set that equal to X cups over 35. And then cross multiply, so you get 1.5 times 35 equals 2x, and then solve that, right? Does anyone need to see me work that all the way out?
Why would you want to make 35 gallons unless you're like doing some cult stuff?
It's a big party. Big party. All right. So finding the cross products. Some math teachers will say that a cross product, we know it's cross multiplication. Some will say it's the product of the means equals the products of the extremes. It frustrates me that the math community is like, no, we have a certain etiquette. It's like, dude, shut up. Just tell people what to do. And rather than having it too tough. Not our teachers. We just say cross multiply. So we can use the same technique to solve rational functions. Guys and girls, some of you are talking too much. So you can find cross products when each side of the equation is a single rational expression. So if you had x over 2 and x over 6, you can cross multiply and figure it out. If you had x over 2 equals x over 6 plus 7, you can't just go cross multiply. You have to put them together. And then the cross product does not result in higher degree expressions. So we don't go from 3rd degree to 5th degree. All right, so perfect example of a cross multiplication. or cross product, or means times extremes. Minus x. Is that okay so far? Distribute where you can. It's an x. It's just a parenthesis. That got sloppy on us. And then move everything over. So I'm going to make this side 0. So I have x squared minus 3x plus 2. And then we have x minus 2, x minus 1. So my answers are equal to 2 and 1. Make sure that do any of those make my denominator 0 on the original? 1. Yeah. So I only have one solution. This is my solution that works. So if I plug it in here, I get 4 minus 2, and then 2 minus 1 that works. But if I plug 1 in, right here and right here, it gives me, so that's an extraneous solution. So I only have one solution. If we graph that on a graphic calculator, you can only see it cross once. Good so far? Time to move on? All right, for some reason it skips to number 4, then it goes to number 3. It should work. So cross multiply. So x squared times 4 minus x equals 2x times x minus 4. And then multiply, distribute. So I'm going to get 4x squared minus x to the third equals 2x squared minus 8x. Okay, so even though this raised it to a third power, it doesn't change what our graph would look like. It doesn't say that now we have 3 solutions or anything like that. Coach, good to see you. You guys all know Coach?
What's up, Coach?
Yeah. Dude, what happened to our drawing?
Oh, yeah.
Coach, they didn't erase your stuff. I'm kidding. He might be the GOAT, though. Winning that first state tournament for the girls.
Hi. Hi. Hi.
Hi. All right, let's solve it. Let's solve it. So I'm going to divide. I'm going to, let's see, move everything over to this side. So this is 0. So I get x to the third by adding it. If I subtract the 4x squared, I get minus 2x squared. And then minus 8x. You can go ahead and factor out the x, but remember it says that this does not increase our degree. So I'm not going to be worried about this increased x as a solution. What I'm going to be is take a look at this and I realize I have x minus 4 and x plus 2. If I plug those in, I get x equals positive 4 and I get x equals negative 2. This one will not work. Why am I ignoring that x in the beginning? That should result in an x equals 0, agreed? But why am I ignoring it?
You gonna multiply it later?
What degree was my original?
Yeah.
What's my highest degree of my original? Squared, second. If I cross multiply, it takes it to the third, so I can't increase the 0. I can't increase one of the solutions. So it's usually the distributed one. This will not count as one of the solutions. So we have an extraneous and we have a regular one that works here. All right, now I think we go back to number 3, or number 2. Okay, cross multiply. And make sure before you do that, put all these in parentheses. So I'm going to go that times that. So I get x plus 4, 2x minus 3 equals, cross here. And then multiply. 8x plus 5x minus 12 equals 3x squared plus 9x. I'll move everything over here, so I get, let's see, negative x squared. Let's see, 8x minus 3x. Move that 9x over, so minus 4x. Minus 12 equals 0. A good way to go about this problem, multiply everything by negative. So you get this. Of course, if you multiply 0 by negative, it doesn't change it. And what is that? X plus 6, x plus 2. So So my answer should be x equals -6 and x equals -2. And take a look. Do any of those give me a denominator of 0? They don't. Cool. There's my two solutions. Everybody happy? Holding on. Hey, Ben. This is kind of being a catch-all. Let's see. You got Hannah's old homework here.
Oh, sorry.
That it, I think. All right. And Kyle. Oh, your old homework too. May I move on? Here we go. All right. Cross multiply.
28.
Agree? Did I do that right? All right. What two numbers multiply to give me 28? Add to give me 7 and 4. I like it. So x plus 7, x minus 4. So my answers are -7, x equals +4. Do any of those give me a denominator of 0? Nope. Two solutions. And again, if you graph this on your graphing calculator, you could have the left side on your calculator as y1, the right side on your calculator as y2. Adjust your window so you can see it, and you would see that it would cross at two x intersections. You're not worried about the y intersection.
Oh, word problem.
We got a word problem? Is that the last one? All right. Don't worry, we'll get through the story problem. Ooh, okay. So 5x minus 7 times x minus 2 equals 8 times x minus 2. Agree? So that was going from here to here. Okay. So
Could you cancel out the x minus?
I was just thinking that. Can I do that? So Sam, I'm going to hold on to that. I like that idea because I think I can, but I want to see if it will work both ways. So 5x squared, that's minus 10x, that's minus 17x, plus 14 equals 8x minus 16. 5x squared minus 25x minus 30 plus 30. Is that right? Did I do all that right? Mm-hmm. Let's divide everything by 5. And so then
5 and 1.
I think it's -2, -3. Okay. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
Because to get that to positive, it has to be that. So x equals 2, x equals 3. Double check on your original. The 2 won't work. So this won't work here. But this will work. Now, what Sam had said, and I think I might agree with this. Let's take my original, but let's move everything over. That would give me 5x minus 8 equals 0 over x minus 2. And then if I multiplied x minus 2 over here, I get 5x minus 8 equals 0. 5x equals 8. No, it's not going to work, Sam.
Oh.
I wanted it to. I was trying to think it, so this is not the way to do it. I wanted it to work. I wanted to be like, dude, we just discovered the math of Sam. And you could have said, this is Sam's theorem. And all of a sudden you walk out of high school with a PhD in math because Sam's theorem exists and works.
Nice.
And so you could actually be the only one that could say, I got a degree. And everyone else was like, I just got a diploma. All right, move on. Yes? No? Whoa, what happened now? I thought I moved on. Am I good? I'm not forgetting anything? All right, I can't cross multiply on this one at this point, so this is one of the ones that I want to go through, and I want to take all 4 of my terms. So there's 1 term, 2 term, 3 term, 4 term. I want to multiply everything by 3x. So on the first one, I just get 9. On the second one, I get 36x. Third one, I get 6x. And the fourth term, I just plus 4. Subtract, bring everything over. Let's see. I'm going to get 30x over here. I'm going to move the 9 over to give me -5. So x equals -5 over 30. And we're good mathematicians. We know that's the same thing as -1 over 6. That'll plug in just nicely. So again, I can't cross multiply on this one. I have to go ahead and solve it like we had been doing. The trick on this negative here, just bring it up here. Okay, cross multiply, so I get -2x minus 2. Cross multiply here, I'm going to get x squared minus 9x plus 8. Move everything over to the right. Minus 7x plus 10. So x minus 2, x minus 5. So I wind up with x equals 2 and x equals 5. Both those answers work. The big key here is remembering to move that negative up here. That goes with one of the problems. If you don't, you're not going to get the right answer. Ready?
Yeah.
Here, let's play. Okay. I have two fractions equal to each other. Yes?
Oh. Okay. Can't you just like do the bottom stuff? Like ignore that then and just do the tops?
No. That's what we want to do, but we can't. Everything here, I'm going to put in parentheses. Is that okay so far? So when I cross multiply here, I'm going to get x minus 1 times x squared plus 2x plus 2. And then if I cross multiply here, that gives me x minus 1 and then 2x plus 3. Is that okay so far? Yuck, we have to distribute a binomial over a trinomial. Best day ever. X third plus 2x squared plus 2x minus x squared minus 2x minus 2. Oh, that's all that. I got to clean that up in a sec. Let's see, FOIL this side. So I'm going to get 2x squared plus 3x plus 1x minus 3. Does my math look okay so far?
Yep.
Remember, we can't raise the degree of these. So we can't increase our zeros. So the x equals 0 will eliminate eventually. So let's put everything back together. So I get x to the third over here. That's taken care of. 2x squared minus that and that. So subtract 2. So I'm going to get minus 1x squared. Is that okay so far?
Isn't that just minus x squared?
Yep, same thing. And then this and this. So I'm going to bring that x over. So that's going to give me plus x. And then bring that 3 over plus 1. Okay, my Algebra 1 friends. Do we remember? Let's see, did I do all that right? So
I think it's minus x.
Factor by grouping.
we got a minus x?
Instead of plus x, it's minus x.
It is minus x. Thank you. Oh, that was the bonus that I needed to see. So that's a minus right there. So I'm going to factor by grouping. So x squared, x minus 1. And then this one, I'm going to factor out a -1. That gives me x minus 1. So that gives me x squared minus 1, x minus 1. And this one's going to work out nicely. Does anyone recognize that as the difference of two squares? So I'd say eliminate one of the x minus 1. So I'm going to get x equals -1, x equals +1 for my answers. Go back and see. Positive 1 won't work. All right, boom. Singleton solution. Oh, those difference of two squares, how they sneak back up to haunt us. Ready?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, so I'm going to multiply this by x minus 1 over x minus 1. So let's just take care of the top first. So I'm going to get 6 minus 3x plus 3 over x minus 1. Clean that up. So I'm going to get 9 minus 3x over x minus 1. Okay, let's clean this bottom up. Oh, the bottom doesn't need cleaned up. All right, so on top here, I'm going to factor 3 out. So I get 3 minus x over x minus 1 times the reciprocal of that, x over 3. Looks like a 3 reduces here to here, and that's it.
So 3 minus x.
There's our final solution, our final reduced 4 version. What did I do this time?
Oh, it's fine.
Your mom texted me at school, didn't she know you're
Because
here?
I told my mom to buy me fruit. I wrote a lot of fruit. Yeah.
I'll take some breaks.
No.
I'll take some breaks.
I my own fruit.
All right. Is this the last slide? Oh man, I can still get that. Does anyone need me to work that?
I don't think so.
You think so?
I don't think so.
Everyone good here?
Yeah.
All right, moving on. All right, so the average monthly high temperatures in Jackson, Mississippi can be modeled by this fancy-dancy equation where T is measured in degrees Fahrenheit. Finally, we do something in Fahrenheit. And T equals 1, 2, all the way represents the months of the year. During which month is the average monthly high temperature 57.3? Oh, okay. 57.3 equals 191 T minus 30 over T squared minus 16.5 T plus 114. Anyone have a better way to do this one? I'm going to use graphic calculators. Use that. Oh, nice. Start graphing. Decimals. Y equals 57.3 is one of them. And y equals, okay, 191 x minus 30. X squared minus 16. Alright, so I'm just graphing both sides of that. Realize I changed my t's to x's. Okay, so I have both of those. Hit return. I don't really see my graph yet. Don't see it. Oh, there's one. There's the other. Ooh. Did I do that problem? Where capital T is measured in degrees Fahrenheit. Oh, I know what I did. Sorry. Parentheses. Maybe. I hate to tell you all this. I'll give you a problem that you can't solve. I'm really not willing to go out, 2100 months from
You
now.
should try x equals instead of y equals.
No, it's not next value.
Yeah, no, it just worked for me once.
Oh.
Wait, are we in chapter 11 or chapter 9?
11.
We're in 11.
Okay,
God, Sam.
the quiz is chapter 9, so I was confused.
That's last week.
I haven't changed my calendar over there yet, buddy.
Okay.
All right, so
It's not.
so I guess. Ooh, there's like 3 pages of homework. Do you guys want to do all 3 pages?
No.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you say we do worksheet 11D, and I'm kind of partial to going 2 through 20 even. Yeah, they just give you more space. Is that all right? Oh, and then also just a reminder, there is, starting at the end of this period, on Schoology. Okay, it's not due yet, so I'm just telling you in advance that we will have the radical capstone stuff on there. So that should help you pass the test. And I'll tell you what, some of you might get to the double bonus here pretty quick in math, which is awesome. What?
Are you here before school tomorrow?
I have a meeting
Yeah.
right before school. After school, sure.
It's like